You're listening to the Beans and Dice podcast, a podcast about how we game.
Hey, folks, welcome to the Beans and Dice podcast, a podcast about
how we game.
I'm Carlos.
I'm Rob.
And I'm Wayne.
And we're a podcast about
how we game. Been there, done that.
Deja vu.
Am I late?
Yeah.
I did it again?
Yep.
I messed up again.
That's right.
I did it again.
Moving forward.
Hi, folks. Welcome to tonight's episode of the Beans and Dice podcast. We are a podcast about how we game, and we talk board games.
Not on NPR like you
Oh,
are,
no.
yeah? A little whispery.
NPR?
No,
Whispery-ish?
Yeah.
Not cool?
No.
I got to show off my Board Game Gumbo koozie. Thank you, BJ from Board Game Gumbo, for the awesome koozie.
Yeah.
Folks, let us know at home. Is it working?
Yeah. Can you hear us? Can you see us? Woo!
I didn't blast it out today. I didn't.
Oh, all the getting people on.
It was my first week back at work, so like full-time back at work in the office.
Okay.
So it's kind of been a hectic week for me. Y'all came over today, and I kind of said it. I think I'm just gaming today. Let's not worry about recording. Oh, speaking of work, there's a work buddy of mine right there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my buddy.
Blue
Check out the
Bastard
last name. I love the last name.
Which one?
Schlanger.
Oh,
I wish I had the last name.
Oh, it's not up there. I thought you were
Schlanger.
saying something that was up there. I was like, that's not up there.
That's my buddy Schlanger, Joe Schlanger from Blue
Blue
Bassett
Bassett
Brewery.
Brewery.
He
Okay.
makes his own beers, all kinds of delicious stuff.
This guy knows something about that.
did that prior to having a child.
Yeah.
Oh, BC?
Oh, yeah.
Before children?
Before children.
before Kyle.
Was a heavy home brewer. Had a whole big setup.
Oh, yeah. Joe will show up with all kinds of dark stuff.
Homebrew
That
goodness.
was me.
Yeah.
Phone lines open, 813-618-7099. We got Nick Oben in the chat. We got Blue Bassett Brewery in the chat. Thanks so much for letting us know things are working. I did open up the phone line. Well, not 100% sure it's going to work because
Oh.
if y'all don't know, me and technology don't mix.
Don't communicate very well.
We don't mix.
We had jumped into a game and actually almost finished. We're in the last round, getting ready to start the last round of Dune Imperium, one of the greatest games on Earth, but we're moving right along. We got through, 9 of the 10 rounds, and we were trying to squeeze in that last round, but we were like, 8 minutes to showtime. We better jump over and do the show. So we're going to finish the last round here. We are in almost a three-way tie. Carlos and I are tied at 8 points, and Wayne's got 7. So this last round, one way or the other, is going to be the end of the game, but hopefully one of us can hit 10 here.
Yeah.
Mitch, I think I fixed the button, so it should be working.
Oh, okay. You try to call?
Yeah,
Trying to get
I
his
sent it to the
first
wrong
phone call
place.
in.
Brewed
Gotta go up here.
beers, then had kids.
Call coming. But
Oh, we got a call from the West Coast. Let's check this one out. I'm going to go right into this call, gentlemen,
Okay.
and then we'll get
All
into
right.
topics. Beans and Dice podcast. State your name and where you're calling from.
Lorenzo from Seattle.
oh, hey, Michael. How are you?
My man, Mike Lorenzo.
Doing all right. I'm just calling in to let everybody know that Mitchell is slacking.
Oh, I was going
Man, that
to say
guy
you
is
preempted
so slow to
preempted
make
the
dial.
man. Yeah. I think he tried prematurely before Carlos had everything turned on. Is that what happened, Carlos?
I had it turned on. I just had it turned on to the wrong places.
Oh, so you just blocked Mitchell. So just so Michael could call in. Mike could call in and talk to us.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
I saw
I'm
some
cool with
photos.
that.
You've been doing some gaming.
Yeah, finally getting some gaming in, catching up on work, and able to spend a little bit of side time doing some games. Oh, Raphael came into town.
I was going to say, you were
Yeah.
hanging out
That's
with
what I
the
saw in the
Asian
photos.
persuasion himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So we got I don't know what the topic is tonight. I don't want to.
Nothing too
I don't wanna-
particular.
You know,
Okay.
we
All right,
kind of
cool. Yeah, so
okay. So Michael, while you're here, because you're a
Yeah.
founder, an official founder, not like Mitchell, one of those like
Am I?
late founder. You're an
Snuck in
official
under-
founder,
Under late.
dude. You came up with the logo. I mean, you're an official founder.
Well, I mean, I provided the logo, but I got it. You know, my brother did it though.
How it
You know,
how it
that's
happened,
true.
it doesn't matter. But you stunned us. But you're an official founder.
All right, cool.
Let me ask this. Our thoughts are this: going forward, one of the things that I want to do is have each person who shows up for the show bring a topic, because I feel like we bring too many topics. So if we each bring one kind of news topic or game topic to talk about and just try to insert that in the show, instead of having one driving force that can either turn people off or turn people on, you just kind of got to tune in and see what we're talking about. What do you think about that?
You mean like while I'm on the phone, we're going to talk about my topic, and then you're going to move on to another topic when somebody else calls in?
Or when in between calls, one of us will present a news article or a news topic or a gaming topic. Kind of a segment.
Right. I think
almost
that's kind of cool.
In this segment,
it kind
Wayne
of
brings up.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I guess my question on that, though, kind of we're hashing this out here, is if we don't pre-announce, the whole reason to have topics is to pre-announce the topic so that people are prepared to call in and talk about that to some extent, and it helps also advertise the show when you can advertise a topic. So
I think it'll always be something recent, something new. So you want to talk about new topics in the show, and then each of you bring your own flavor, because you can talk about Euros, Rob, and I'm never going to bring up Euros. Wayne can talk about RPGs. I'm never going to bring up RPG news.
Well, I think too is like, especially when you advertise a show earlier in the day. If I had a topic and I was going to be planning on being here,
I think it's important to post it.
I'd post
Well,
it.
then you can post yours. Hey, call into the show today. I'm talking about X.
Yeah,
that's how to do that.
Yeah, that drives viewers, I think, when they know ahead of time what we're going to talk about.
So my question to you, Michael, is this: next week, I'm in San Antonio, and I'm looking to do a late night show, kind of a later episode, because I'm heading a little west time zone wise. What's your topic going to be when I have you on as a guest?
Oh, you're having me on next week as a guest?
Put on the spot.
letting you know right now.
Right now. Come up with a topic right now.
Because I'm in San Antonio. I'm working late. I got deposition stuff to do. So I figured, you know what? We can do like a midnight show, East Coast, for all we know.
Okay.
Get someone West Coast on the horn.
All right. I mean, the first topic that comes off the top of my mind that has been kind of affecting me, actually, is the rising cost of games, especially Kickstarters.
Yeah.
It's like getting out of hand.
That's actually part of my topic tonight. There you go.
That's Wayne's topic
Oh,
for
well,
tonight.
there you go.
Great minds think alike.
So two birds, one stone.
Yeah,
I'm inviting you to the show next week. We're going to do a late show. We'll figure out the hour, you and I, and then I'll have you on as a guest host, and we will do late night Beans and Dice, because I'm going to be working late doing deposition stuff, so I'm going to have to do the show a little bit later.
Nice. All right. Yeah, I'm all in, man. Just let me know what time. I'm there.
So think about a topic for next week, but for right now, what games have you been playing? What things do you want to bring into the show other than just beating Mitch to the call?
Just real quick. When Ralph was in town, we played. I taught him Smartphone Inc., which he really enjoyed, and I always loved that game, but I hadn't pulled it out in so long, so it was just like it was kind of cool to get it back onto the table and really experience it again. And it's a great game. So Smartphone Inc. Taught him Hadrian's Wall. The smoke was coming out of his ears on that one a little bit. He just like, that's like almost a 30-minute teach on that game. If you're really going through every single, piece of both sheets of paper. And it was like, oh, yeah, and, this is going to explain. And he was just like, geez, Louise, like, when is this going to end? But I think he liked it, but he was more on the side of I enjoyed it, but I definitely don't feel the need to ever own it.
Mm.
So probably because it wouldn't make it to his table very often, I'm guessing.
That happens.
I'm trying to remember the third. Yeah, and then I think we started with Fantastic Factories, which
I still haven't played that.
Carlos owns
I've had it for months now with the expansions, and I still haven't got it to the table. I tried to play it solo at the Daytona 5, not the Daytona 500, but at the Daytona track when I did the 24-hour race in January. I tried to play it solo, but the winds were so bad. My cards were flying around the campground, so I kind of put a kibosh on that. But that tells you how long I've been trying to play that game.
That can ruin a card game, yeah.
That definitely can ruin the card game. I enjoy it. Like I was saying, Raphael kind of poo-pooed on it when I brought it out, like for a starter game, and I was like, "Wow, man, this is a great game." Like, I don't understand, but anyway, I mean, we ended up playing it. But
had he played it before? Or was that the first time?
Those were the three that we played. What's that?
Had he played it before, or was that his first play of it?
Oh, no. He's played it before. He just kind of, like, as soon as I pulled it out, you could see, like, his eyes rolling a little bit. And I was like, what? And he's like, oh, I'm not too crazy about this game. I was like, all right, whatever.
He doesn't like anything with dice.
Playing anyway.
It really bothers him.
And he doesn't like light games. I know, like Libertalia and some of those lighter, quicker, easier.
Dude, he bowed out. Like, we had him set up to play the old Libertalia and the new Libertalia, But by the time he was done with the
Yeah.
old Libertalia, because we're going to do a review for Stonemeyer,
He decided he didn't like it.
he walked away.
He didn't want to play the second one.
And then they attempted to like
What?
call all my other gamers over to a different game. He was like inviting my, like, damn, Raph.
Coup d'etat on your Libertalia game.
Right.
You know?
It's like I play the
Parlay.
Mutineer.
That's
I play the
hilarious.
Mutineer.
Parlay.
So anyway, then we went back to his friend's house. Actually, his friend, I'm trying to remember his name, and this is going to kill me. But the friend moved from Tampa
I remember him.
either last year or the year before. He was at the 2019 Christmas party, like the
Yep.
gift exchange that we
Okay,
did.
yep.
Names
So anyway, we went
names
back
are
to his
hard for
place.
me. Names are hard.
Yeah, faces I remember, names I can't. So we went back there, and then we played. I taught them Cascadia, which I think went over really well. That's a great game. And then Raphael taught us Guillotine. Have you ever played that?
Oh yeah, I played
an
that.
old
He
school
taught
one.
that to me actually. Him and Rachel taught it to me. Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I thought that was. I mean, it's a pretty quick game, and,
Yeah.
and it's fun. A little bit of take that, and I enjoyed it.
Yep,
You know,
fun game.
I could definitely see introducing like new gamers to something like that.
Yeah.
Which the version
And,
of Guillotine?
the only
did
other new game that I really played was Three Sisters, which
Oh,
I
yeah,
freaking
that
love.
one
I haven't played that
delivered
yet.
like last month, I think.
Yeah, same people that made Fleet the Dice game.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, because you
which
don't
is
have enough
another
hard
kind of
roll and
heavy
write
roll and
games.
write.
Yeah. See, I've heard a lot of comparisons
Yeah.
between the two. Yep.
Yeah, but I introduced that one to my wife and our friends that live in the area. And I mean, it's a little bit of a teach, but once we did like one round, then you could tell like they were getting into it. Like, oh yeah, now I can, I'm going to grow this, and then I'm going to get, the shovel over here, which is going to let me do this. And it's, again, I sound like a broken record, but I love those games that just chain a bunch of things together, and you feel like the smartest person in the world when you're done with your turn.
Yeah.
That's
When
just
you
the
get that
type
cook
of games
combo
that I like.
going.
Yeah, man, combo. But yeah, so that's what's been going on. Got some Kickstarters in that I haven't been able to play yet, but
Diego commented.
I'm getting ready to do a huge. What's that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Diego just commented. I was wondering what he says. I think you're talking about Renato. What would he?
Oh,
be
his
talking
friend
about?
Renato.
Yes, Renato. Yes,
There we go. Okay.
yes.
Okay. I thought he was talking about a game.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not familiar with that game, but yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, in closing, I'm going to let you guys go.
Okay.
But I'm preparing to do a huge culling of my collection.
Oh, that's a topic.
You live too far away to sell
Yeah,
it
I was
to
gonna
us.
say it would be nice if you give us first dibs, but that's some shipping there. Yeah.
Yeah, shipping would be a little crazy.
Yeah.
I have so many Kickstarters coming in, and I'm like worried, like I'm not going to have any room for them. I just got address verification for Oathsworn.
Oh,
And I went all in on that one.
Man, that one looks good. That one looks so good.
Yes,
Tons of minis.
I'm so excited for that.
But I still think you need to post it in the Discord chat first to give Beans and Dice folks first crack.
Yeah, I was gonna say
We can combine our shipping together.
Yeah, if you're getting rid of circadians or anything good like that, let me know. Maybe some other load or
All right. Well, I put you on blast in front of everyone. Start looking at your schedule. Look for a time frame in the evening of next Thursday if you're available for an hour. Let's do another Mike and Carlos show. I mean, we haven't done one in so long. I thought it'd be great, and we can have Rob join us too, if anything.
Yeah, I'm 100% in on it, man.
All right.
Let me
Well,
know.
then I will see you in the chats, and we will plan that thing out. I'll be in San Antonio for work, but you and I will hang. Thanks for calling.
All right, fellas.
Thanks for calling.
Have a good night.
Yeah, man.
Have a
Good
good
night. That's our buddy Mike Lorenzo.
Yeah.
That opens up the phone line for our buddy Mitch, who confused me
He better be on the tubes right now trying to get in
because
there.
I got a Mitch here on Twitch saying hi.
Yeah, a couple of Mitchells.
I got a Mitchell here on Facebook saying hi.
We got a Mitchell on the phone now saying hi.
I got Mitchell's on YouTube saying hi. Mitchell's hitting us on all
I'm
the streaming.
everywhere.
Yeah. He's in on all different angles.
What's up, guys? Yeah, man, I'm coming at you from 4 different directions.
Hey, so what are your
trying
thoughts on a next week? Later night show, so it's not as early for you. Would you be in for jumping in as a guest host?
Sure. Wait, how many is this guest host section? How many guest hosts are going to have?
In a week,
Guest
man.
host extravaganza.
There's a giant,
All right,
giant
so-
Well, we
you
talked about
Zoom.
this. Having more than a certain number gets a
well,
little
you know,
messy. But,
I might leave y'all Tampa folks to
Okay.
be on
We
your
have
own.
to call in. Is that
Right, you'll have to call in to let the people know what you're up to. But no, this new stream software, this what is this thing called?
StreamYard?
Yard?
StreamYard?
StreamYard.
Yeah,
You know
StreamYard.
what? Let me share my screens. I'm going to give you all a little insight on the show here. I'll share my screen. Ignore Mitchell and his phone call. Here's the StreamYard. Whoa.
Oh, yeah,
That's creepy.
that's a thing. Yeah, you don't
So
do
there's
that.
the StreamYard, right?
Yeah.
So you can see the StreamYard app.
Whatever you
It's
just
got
saw there.
all of the comments,
Conglomerated?
combined,
Conglomerated.
integrated.
Yeah.
words. But no, Mitch, what ends up happening is it allows me to invite you as a guest host. You log into their web app and boom, you're in the show. Your camera and your mic work. So it just makes it all easy. So if you're up, I'm looking for people outside of the East time zone to join us for kind of a West Coast show. You let me know.
For sure. What time are you thinking? What time? So you'll be in Mountain, right?
You know, Louisiana's pretty West Coast. Yeah.
It'll be. Listen, I had jet lag from that. last trip.
Directions are not his first language.
just barely across the time change, but okay.
Parts of
So
Florida
San
in the same
Antonio,
time
is
zone.
that Mountain time or still Central time?
It's
Yeah.
still central.
Panhandle, Florida is in the same time.
But
zone.
I got some work stuff going on in the evening, so my thought was something like a 10 o'clock Central Time,
Which would be 11 o'clock Eastern.
Okay.
which is 11 o'clock Eastern,
Right. Yeah.
and then it's
Some
like
good math there. Good. Thanks, Wayne.
like 9 o'clock Pacific.
No, be
Right.
2
3
hours.
hour, 3
Well,
hours
from
east.
10 o'clock Central,
Be 2 hours, 8 o'clock.
so it'd
9 to
be
8.
8
Yeah.
o'clock. Okay,
8 o'clock.
something like that. Something like that.
Math is hard.
All right,
Yeah,
what-
we'll make it happen. I'm on spring break right now, so that
Back to
works.
board games.
Tonight's my first night. Yep.
what'd you do on your
For
first
sure.
night of spring break?
Well, I'm calling into the show.
Well, yeah. God, what dumb
It's right
question. Yeah. That's what he's doing right
That's
now.
right. The time zone. It's just
Oh.
becoming night.
He's just
over
getting
there.
to be evening. Yeah.
All right, the show is yours now, Mitch. Go.
I got a lot of topics here, so careful. No, I'm going to start with one, and depending on how long that lasts, we'll see. Last week, I brought up Merchants of the Dark Road very briefly, and Carlos, I felt like you poo-pooed on it a little bit.
Felt like
None
it a
of you
little
guys
bit,
have played it,
Right?
but I am really liking this game. What about it is not shining through for you, Carlos, or for any of you guys, or what are y'all opinions of what you guys have seen? Because I laud it a lot. What didn't jump out for you, Carlos?
Okay, so it's the darkness of the board itself. Like I don't even like playing on the brass knight side.
It's the dark road.
Secondly, it's the overproduction of what appears to be just a pick up and deliver ish game because there are wagons and there's resources.
Yeah, I don't know about overproduction. Everything's wooden, or not wooden, cardboard chits, isn't it?
No,
I mean, if you get the deluxe version, yeah, but if you get the base game, I
Wayne's
wouldn't
like,
call
you have
that
a computer,
overproduced
you
at
can
all.
show it.
Yeah. He's trying to do too many things over there.
Yeah, that's part of it.
But yeah, okay. So the deluxe versions is, I guess maybe I don't know if I've seen the deluxe version.
It
I've
was
seen,
right next to us in
I've seen
Louisiana,
several
bro.
plays of the
Were you
base version
drinking?
where everything. Yeah, probably. I wasn't looking at that, but yeah. Oh, we were playing Ark Nova. Yeah, there's no way I was watching them play Dark Road while we were in the middle of a game of Ark Nova.
Merchants of the Dark Road.
Merchants of the
right?
Dark Road. There it is. Yep. He's pulling it up on the BGG.
I'll pull up pictures for y'all. But and then there's nothing in any description I've seen to date that theme wise draws me in. Like it might as well be
You usually love
another
pickup
trading in the
and delivery.
Mediterranean.
Though you like pickup and delivery, especially if it's pirates or if it's
Trains.
Trains,
I really like trains.
pirates.
I like pirates.
Yeah.
I like space.
So you don't like the setting.
No, it just.
I feel like there's a ton of theme to this. The idea is that, like, there's this queen, and like there are all these like villages out in like the middle of nowhere, and it's the dark season where I think the sun never comes up, and so like you're a merchant, but you're like the hero. You're the guy who's like bringing people on their journeys and protecting them, and you're delivering the supplies that they need in these far off villages. It's like this, I guess, this alternate universe where it's just dark all the time. And I feel like the theme comes out very strong in this.
So you're the hero
Are you saying
supporter
it's
in this game, is what you're saying.
Yeah. So you don't have to go out and like fight people and stuff. You just have to like be the one to guide them through the night. Essentially, it's kind of like a different view of a hero.
In the words of Brooks in Spaceballs, merchandising. That's what I'm doing.
Merchandising.
baseballs,
Well, it's not just that,
lunchbox.
because like you're the one delivering the heroes out to these places.
Right.
So there's the two main components are like not only are you delivering, you're like fulfilling commissions for the things they need out there, but also, like I said, you're delivering these people that need to get out there, and they're actually paying you to do that. So there's two different kinds of victory points. There's money, and then I think it's like prestige. And whatever the lowest of those two is what your base victory point value is. And so your prestige, or whatever the term is, that's on the board. Everybody knows that, but nobody knows how much money you have. So you don't really know until the end whenever you reveal how many points you have. And so you have to balance those two. Because I could have $50, but if I only have 10 prestige, then I'm probably not going to win. And that's kind of a cool mechanic that it's a unique puzzle to figure out.
You know, I think they played this on the Dice Tower.
I was going to come to that why they didn't like it, but go ahead.
Yeah, so it seems like an interesting concept. You know, you're in the D&D world. You're the merchant selling the heroes their goods, and then you're their Uber driver.
Yeah,
basically. Yeah. So that sounds really thrilling. You know.
See, I feel like I'm just the guy with the exclamation point on my head.
I'm the quest giver, right?
That the heroes come to.
That's a unique.
You're the NPC.
That's kind of a unique twist, and it looks like a gorgeous game. But again, how much does that cost to have all that coolness that's out there? You know, it looks cool. I tell you that. I haven't played it. I don't know a tremendous amount about it.
I think it's just $60 for the base.
You know, all those boxes though, I gotta have it all. So,
and I guess the old man saltiness in me just says, really, we need custom dice bags, custom inserts, wooden meeples, resin flames.
That's all optional, man.
Says the guy with the laser printer.
Okay, hold on. It's like Glowforge guy.
For the games that deserve it.
So, Rob, right? Talk about but why the dice power people not.
Well,
like
I was trying to remember exactly what they said, and I don't. Mitchell, you'll have to help me with this probably because you've played it and I haven't. But they didn't like the polyomino part of it, and it had something to do with the size of the pieces versus the value of what you got out of them, and they expected it to be more of a polyomino puzzle kind of thing when you put them in your caravan, in your wagon. But they were saying that it really doesn't matter. You just pick something up, you throw it in your wagon. You either have space for it or you don't. You go and you offload it. They kind of expected there to be more of a puzzle game in that. And then I know there was something about the sizes of the pieces not correlating to the values of them or something like that they didn't like.
So those are the goods that you're delivering. And they're all either rectangles or squares. So it's not really polyomino.
Okay.
And yes, the size does not necessarily correlate to the value because the market is constantly changing. So at one moment it could be worth 5, and the next is worth 1.
Okay, so you can have a large object that takes up a huge chunk of your inventory, and you can't fit anything else in there. And then by the time you go deliver it, it's maybe only worth 1 point. So yeah, maybe that was what they were talking about. Yeah.
Right. Now here's the thing: your inventory is pretty big. I never really had much issue fitting everything I wanted, and maybe that's another problem. They're saying that like it's not much of a challenge, but so kind of the main mechanic is like whenever you go on the dark road, that's one of the like 4 spaces there are. And so I found that there's kind of 2 different strategies. Either you hit the dark road all the time and just get small amounts of money, or you hit it whenever you're like ready to cash in big time. And so I feel like, it could limit you if you're going for the later strategy of just trying to bulk up and offload everything at once. But I never went that way. So I guess I could see that, but for me, that was more of a positive player experience, somebody coming from a background where I don't really like puzzles.
Okay.
It's like I didn't have to worry about that too much.
Sure. Okay. Well, that's interesting. So yeah, I've seen kind of both sides of that, but I guess they were maybe expecting something on their first play that it wasn't there. That they thought it was going to be. Yeah.
Based on the pictures, it's a very cool looking game.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'd like to go to try. It's definitely something I like to try to play, but I don't know if I'm going to go out and buy it. You know,
overproduced.
Yeah. Again, the overproduction is if you buy the huge metal coins and the velvet dice bag we were talking about last week, and all these extra things. You don't have to buy those things.
Yeah, see a lot of these.
But I would like to see what it looks like, just the base game setup, because all these pictures are all these blinged out, crazy versions.
At first, they were the cardboard ones.
Yeah.
The very first few he showed were all cardboard stuff.
I don't remember any. Like I've only seen like upgraded.
Yeah,
really?
I've seen dice bags, resin lanterns.
Well, see, the playthroughs I've seen have all been. I've seen 2 playthroughs, and they were both with the cardboard
that
version.
Looks like a fairly go back one. That looks like a fairly base version.
No. They got
the
resin
wooden
flames.
pieces.
They got lanterns. They got.
Never mind. Yeah.
So everybody's showing off online, at least showing off their cool versions.
Right. This kind of goes back to what Michelangelo was saying, which is games have just gotten too damn expensive.
Yeah.
and they're only going to go
again,
up.
I feel like if you're going for the all-in, then yes. But I'm perfectly fine with the base. I know Wayne.
Have you
I know
played
Jeremy,
the
who you guys
base?
met. I have not, because I played Jeremy's copy, which is literally everything you could possibly get for it.
So none of your friends are perfectly fine with the base.
Well, and and don't Mitch, I'm not actually typically don't upgrade games other than like metal coins or something like that. But just like when all you ever see is the upgraded blinged out versions that people are posting, then you question whether it's the bling and the prettiness that's adding to the experience. Is there enough game there to play?
And not even
a
adding
Castles of Burgundy version of Merchants of the Dark Road.
not
right?
even adding to the experience, but adding to the reasons I'm pushing it in your face
Right.
to tell you this is awesome because I spent a lot of money on this game, so I need you to know it's awesome.
That last photo was the base version. But yeah, almost everything's cardboard, just the little wooden.
Yeah, it's still pretty
wagons.
though. The color of it is nice and stuff. Like, I would be okay with that.
All right, Mitch, so here's what I'm hearing. Play it if you have access to it, and then make a decision on the mechanisms alone. Don't judge it by its cover.
Right. Well, we all know games are all about mechanisms and not theme.
Yeah.
Oh, God, Mitch. You see what you opened me up to then?
High five.
Before Carlos flips the table,
Yeah.
I want to bring up one other quick topic
Okay.
before my time
Shoot.
runs out. I know we've been talking about it in the Discord. I'm not super excited about this cooperative viticulture. That is not what viticulture is to me.
Yeah.
What are y'all thoughts?
Did anybody bring that as their topic for the
That was like a
episode?
second
That
topic.
was a second.
for mine.
backup?
I think we
Okay,
all had
Mitchell
that
brought
backup
it.
burner.
Mitchell
Yeah.
brought it.
It was good.
Yeah.
All right, Mitchell, we're going to get you offline on that one, all right?
Okay, sounds good.
I appreciate you, man. Have a good night.
All right, later.
While doing this, you gotta watch out for somebody else calling in.
That's okay. I'm going to control.
All right.
I'm going to
All right, go ahead,
screen.
Wayne.
Wayne, hit him with the
viticulture
viticulture.
love.
I was thinking, what's coming out for viticulture, right? I was hoping for a new board, and instead of it being Tuscany or Italian theme, bring out a new board and set in California with new mechanics or something like new wines.
So you were expecting an expansion to the existing game.
Yeah, something in
Right.
the existing game. And to me, so far, it looks like this is a completely separate game that you use 5 or 6 or 7 of the chits and pieces and whatever. So you're taking out a bunch of pieces from the base game and playing this completely separate game. And I actually mentioned that on Jamie's. Jamie had a live stream on Facebook, and I posed that question. I said, why not just create a separate game than really just use pieces from the base game? And he said, well, I don't want people to have to rebuy the same pieces, the glass beads and your winery board and that kind of stuff. So it's really an expansion. I said, it's kind of goes back to the whole Libertalia thing where is it a re-implementation or reprint or redo, whatever. This doesn't seem like a viticulture expansion. It seems like
a whole new thing.
a whole new game that just happens to use a bunch of, so it's a cheaper game because you're buying this expansion. If you have the base game, you can just use some pieces from it. So it's kind of like goes back to like cheap ass games way back in the day where they sold you the game knowing that you would have dice and some figures that you could use for the game. So that's basically what this is. It's not really an expansion. It's a whole new game where you're using a bunch of pieces from the base game, which is okay. I'm kind of warming to it a little bit.
Yeah.
Well,
So
we've got Connor from Louisiana on the line. Connor, what do you think of this viticulture cooperative setup?
I've not done much looking into it. I'm intrigued by the idea of playing viticulture cooperatively as opposed to competitively. But I was listening in that you're using components from the base game and they're not providing their own components.
Correct. So there's a new game board and new cards and like new mamas and papas that you're going to mix in, but you're going to use your winery board and the wine cards and some other components from the base game. And what it is you still have to get to Missouri. Yeah. You still have to get to the 25 victory points using the mechanics of the original viticulture, but you're playing on this board where you're competing cooperatively against like achievements based upon the continent. And there's all 7 continents, not Antarctica, but the 7th continent is actually the Charterstone continent. So you're using it's basically taking, I don't know, maybe 50% of the pieces from viticulture, and then you're adding in the other 50% of the pieces from this expansion. And you have this now cooperative game where each player still has to get to 25 victory points, playing viticulture, but then there's added elements of this cooperative game where you're competing against the different continent, whatever the achievements are, you have to win to do the cooperative part of the game. So it's kind of like viticulture matched with this challenge of doing the continents.
Like a DLC almost.
Maybe, yeah.
All right, Connor, what do you got for us? We're talking a little bit about viticulture, cooperative edition. Mitchell brought that topic up. You can change the topic yourself, all you want.
Yeah, I'm sure. I actually needed some advice, Carlos and others. So I have I'm currently living with a roommate who loves board games and used to play with us all the time. Her big game that she always played was Terraform Mars and stuff. And so usually I'd be in like a 3-player game with her. But now the issue is I'm trying to find 2-player games that she would enjoy because she doesn't like playing Mars 2-player. I don't know if it's just because I'm too good at the game or whatever the case may be. But she really loves games like Love Letter and Coup. And I'm trying to find other games that are great at 2 players that are fairly light but have a lot of strategy. What are your thoughts?
Targi jumps to mind for me, even though I've never played it. I mean, that's one that always shows up at the top of people's lists.
Patchwork.
And from what I understand, Targi's got real simple mechanics and a lot of strategy. Patchwork's another one Wayne just mentioned. That's another really good one. Patchwork, a little polyomino, filling up a board kind of thing, trying to fit things in. That's a good one. A little heavier, I think, goes into the card drafting when
Seven Wonders Duel.
Seven Wonders Duel. There we go. Seven Wonders
yeah.
Duel. That's a really good one. That one's I think probably a step up from Patchwork.
Yeah.
But okay, so Robert's not going to say it. I'm just going to say it. Have you tried Ares Expedition?
Oh no, yeah, not a fan.
See,
not a fan.
No.
Yeah.
So I've read the rule book, but I've not actually played a game of it yet.
I'm a fan of Ares Expedition. I like Ares Expedition. Now, I'm not going to say
It's okay.
it's I'm not going to say it's faster or lighter than. Oh, go ahead, Rob. Take the mic.
I
Take
just
it
was going to
all.
switch it over to
Just
Ares
grab
Expedition.
stuff.
Yeah, all right.
You do. You do.
Go
You
ahead.
boo.
So while you're talking, I'll pull it up. Here
We
on
have no
BGG.
engineers here. We have to run our own shows. All right. So Ares Expedition, it plays like Roll to the Galaxy, right?
Roll 4, yeah.
Roll for the Galaxy, or no, it wasn't even Roll 4. That was the Roll and Write
Race
version.
for the
Race for the Galaxy. That's how I got introduced to it. But that's an old game, Connor, like before you were even born. Okay, that was like pre-Malone. But Ares Expedition, he got me. My boy got me. My man. Ares Expedition is going to give you the flavor of terraforming Mars, but it's going to give you all new mechanisms to play with, and it's going to give you less focus on a board, on an area control aspect of the game. So it's going to give you this card play that you enjoy from terraforming Mars, but it's going to add this action selection intrigue about, are you taking the action I'm taking? Right? And then when you reveal, you're like, dang it, I wish I would have known you were taking the same action I was. I would have taken a different one. We could have done stuff differently. And then it takes away that whole board control area, which matters for a 2-player game, because a 2-player game of terraforming Mars, the area control piece isn't as intriguing. So I would say terraforming Mars, Ares Expedition is what I would try with your roommate next.
All right.
That'd be a good bridge. If she,
Sounds like an idea.
Yeah.
she's a fan of the Terraforming Mars, that'd be an easy step. Yeah.
So you're looking 2-player games. Are you looking? Is it games you always play at home, or are you guys out at a bar ever? Or
Ooh, that makes a difference.
Yeah.
No, it's usually at home.
Usually.
We don't ever. If we ever go play board games at another location, it's usually at our friend's house,
Okay.
like either Mitchell's or our friend James.
I think Targi, Patchwork, Terraforming Mars is good ideas.
Mitchell's got a record.
I just thought of a 2-player game. Carlos, what are your thoughts on Radland?
Oh, my man. Listen, I've played, I think, 3 games of Radland so far, but I've taught probably 4 games of it. So I've watched others play it jealously. Like, I want to be a part of those games. It is fire. That game, for what you get for $17, $18 as the retail set, it is so fire of a value of a game. yes, you want to pimp it out, you want to overproduce it, go for the $75, get the player mat, get the Bakelite tokens, all that other fun stuff. I would say it's worth it for the $75 for all that cool stuff and this awesome game. But if you spend $18 on it at Miniature Market or your local retailer, you made bang for buck on the game.
But I'm assuming it's competitive, but like, explain to me the goal of the game.
All right, so in Radlands, you're going to be playing the role of a faction in a post-apocalyptic world. You're going to have 3 base camps that you need to protect. The first person to lose all 3 base camps loses the game. In front of your 3 base camps, you're going to have 1 or 2 cards that you can use to protect your base camp. So they're going to take damage before your base camp can be targeted. You're going to draw cards from the deck. You're going to play cards in front of you as people to protect your camps using the water resource, which is super limited. Or you're going to use that water resource to trigger events. Events go on a timing chain, 3, 2, 1, and then they trigger. So you're going to place them on the timing chain based on where they start. You're going to use other cards to help push those events forward. You're going to spend resources which are so limited. Like you get 3 water, maybe 4 water a turn, maybe. So it feels so tight, right? Say it, Robert. Say it. Tight.
Toy like a toiga.
Yes. So tight, but it's so simple. And then the amount of replayability in the camps alone, you're going to get this stack of camps, right? You'll draw 6, you pick 3, put them in front of you. The camps have varying powers. Some are better than others. If a camp is not great, it's actually going to have a lower starting hand value than camps that stink. If a camp is not great, it's going to give you more cards as your starting value. You have to decide with each card how you're going to use it, because you can use that card to play it as a person or as an event to help you do things, or you can junk it for its junk ability without having to spend water, but it gives you more actions. But because the game is so tight, you're not drawing a lot of cards each of your turns. I mean, it costs you 2 water to draw an extra card. You're going to draw 1 automatically, but to get an extra card, you got to spend 2 water. You only get 3 water a turn. You see how tight the hands are? Oh, great game. Radlands, recommend it.
Carlos, I need you. Are you a salesman? Because I think you need whatever your job is, switch it to salesman. You just convinced me. I'm actually on Amazon right now ordering it.
$17, bro. And you know what? If you need a mat, Mitch and I are trying to figure out how to create felt mats for it, just to kind of do what it needs to do. And when I ship some out to Mitch, I'll send an extra set for you. That way you at least have some felt mats you can use. The mats are not necessary. They just kind of help you organize the columns that things are in. But, I mean, for me, one of the biggest things that really stood out was the Juggernaut base camp. It is a base camp. It goes in front of you. And on your turn, you can spend water to move that base camp forward 1 space. When it reaches the end of your game mat, the opponent player has to damage one of their 3 base camps, and then it resets back to the front. It's an image of a city. I don't know if you ever seen that steampunk movie that had like these cities on treads, and they kind of ate up other cities.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
yeah.
I forget what that was called.
It's kind of like, it looks just like that. It's like a picture of a giant city on tank treads, just eating up other base camps.
Interesting.
Yeah, but those are some.
Yeah, look at the pictures right now.
It's gorgeous.
It looks like a lot of fun.
It's gorgeous. I'll post up on the Beans and Dice the mats that I created. I took this past weekend. I went and got some spray paint, and I painted them like neon blue and neon pink, and then I etched them so the black lines came through, and they look gorgeous. They look great, and it's only on felt. So if you need a mat, I can help you out with that.
What are the dimensions of it?
Of the mat?
You know, off your head?
It's like a 17 by 11 almost, like a tabloid size sheet. I think it's 12 by 18 is the felt that I have.
Interesting. Okay.
But what stinks is this.
Awesome.
If you buy the retail kit, you cannot sleeve your cards and put them back into the box. They made the box so tight, you can't fit the cards back into the box if you sleeve them.
Oh my God.
So I had to like laser cut my own insert out to make it fit.
Or just don't sleeve the cards. It's only $18.
You saying I don't have to sleeve the cards?
Yeah, he said don't sleeve them.
Don't sleeve them?
Don't sleeve them. Just buy 2 copies for $36, and when one rolls out, you get.
Yeah, I probably spent more on sleeves to sleeve the game
whole
than buying another set.
Yeah.
or wait for it to go and like buy one set now, and then a year from now you can get it for like
Well,
you know
could have had a
$12.
backup copy. Yeah.
Thank you for your call, Connor. Hopefully, we helped you out with finding some games for you and your roommate.
You absolutely did.
All right, Bobby.
Sweet.
Check out the podcast. Check out the website, the Beans and Dice Facebook group, where we talk more about this topic, and we'll keep things going for you. Take care, buddy.
Awesome.
Thanks for calling. Have a good night.
Phone lines open 813-618-7099. I got a little excited.
Yeah. You
You like the
went on
game?
a little bit there about Radlands.
Radlands is good. Like if only one of you ended up showing up, Radlands would have hit the table today. Like it's right there.
kinda
I got
glad that-
everything ready to
You
go.
haven't taught it to me yet. You've taught it like 6 or 7 other people, but I understand. It's all
Well,
right.
it's not a Euro game, Rob.
Yeah.
That's not your thing.
Okay.
All right, let me. Actually, we know who this person is.
We got a caller. He's
We
been
can
trying to
trust
call
this caller.
all night.
Beans and Dice Podcast. State your name. Where are you calling from?
Hello and good evening, gentlemen. This is Nick from Wesley Chapel, Florida.
Mr. Oben, how are you?
Outstanding, sir. Outstanding.
Awesome.
Doing very well. Thank you. You guys are busy tonight. I tried beating Mitchell because I know
Yep.
Lorenzo beat Mitchell.
Yeah. It's been a contest. Yeah.
Yeah, one of these weeks we're just gonna keep the phone line busy so Mitchell won't even be able to call in. That'll be the big win.
That'd be cool. Yeah, let's try that.
It's very meta. I like it.
it. Do the thing.
No,
so,
I'm,
wait, I'd like to start a topic here. Wayne, get me out those dice that we were talking about because
Well, you can do that. I know Mitchell, or not Mitchell, Nick. I called Nick Mitchell and Mitchell Nick now, but Nick I know has some things he wants to talk about.
But first, I want to shout out to Nick. He posted live on his Facebook where he was working on his axe throwing. Folks, if you're a regular caller or listener to the show, you know that Nick does axe throwing on Thursday nights, which is why he can't often call. But he made this beautiful axe handle out of purple wood, and Wayne brought this purple heartwood.
Purple Heart. Yeah.
Wayne brought this awesome, gorgeous dice set.
Wormwood.
Here, Wayne, you show that off. I'm going to move the camera that way. There you go. Camera's on Wayne now. Look at this, Nick. Look at this Purple Heart dice box.
It's a box.
Purple Heart wood dice box with aircraft grade aluminum in anodized purple. I mean,
It's my wife's set,
I love
by
it.
the way, not mine.
hey, no hate.
Yeah, no hate.
No hate.
Yeah.
That could be your thing too.
Very
So I
nice.
just wanted to show that off to you, Nick, to let you know you're not the only lover of Purple Heart wood.
You love your wood.
that's right. Right. That's great. It's beautiful. Yeah, Purple Heart, and it's neat. I get so many people asking if it's paint, if it's dyed. I'm like, no, it's literally like a nice deep purple wood. It's really cool.
From what I understand, it changes color.
Yeah, so if I leave it in this case for a while, it'll start to fade and get lighter. And then if you take it and leave it in the sun and put it on your on the windowsill or whatever, it'll get darker again. So as it really absorbs the light and gets lighter and darker as it gets exposed to sunlight, which is pretty cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit about what Nick's been up to and Wayne and how they connect. But back to you, Nick.
Oh no, it's good, and actually, I think that falls in line perfectly with the unofficial theme of the night, which sounds like things that are overproduced.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Like my dice set.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I am making good on my other promise on Facebook, and I received. Can you hear this, Carlos? You'd love this. What is this?
It sounds like a deck of cards.
Oh, shuffling. I can see that. I can see it. That is what is it? A stack of 10 of the over 200 poker style chips that come with Wonderland's War Deluxe.
Very
Edition.
nice. Yeah, I've been seeing this popping up the last 24 hours all over the inner tubes.
I am so smitten with this crazy game. I'm unboxing it. I received it today. I said, of all the Kickstarters that I was waiting for, this is the one that when it shows up, unboxing it, I'm opening up the rule book. I'm not going to get a play in at this point, but I'm going to unbox this thing. I've been spending the entire show putting the game then away, right? Unboxing it and putting it away. We've got these chips that had to be organized in a separate chip holder. We got custom meeples for each faction. There are 5 factions. We got these tokens over here. I don't know if you're pulling it up or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Flip it through on the BGG, yeah.
That looks cool.
The art is awesome. The story is I don't know. So it's not like I'm an Alice in Wonderland, fan even. I mean, we all kind of grew up with it a little bit.
Sure.
Definitely. Everyone knows the Alice in Wonderland story, but something was always, and this is the point, something is wrong with Wonderland, right? Like, it's weird. It's people there are literally insane, and it's this make-believe trippy place. And the premise of this game is Alice spending time there brought too much normalcy to Wonderland, and after she left, they were no longer crazy enough to maintain a healthy Wonderland, and they all started getting really dark and warlike and wanted to kill each other. And now she's returned, leading one of the armies in the battle to control Wonderland. So it's this super trippy, dark, like, hey, here's what happened after Alice left Wonderland and why it happened kind of thing that I just think is wild. You can look at the artwork there. The Cheshire Cat looks even crazier than normal, but in like this dark, I'm going to actually sinister way. The Jabberwocky is back in, which was not in the cartoon, but is in the original story and whatnot. The Queen of Hearts is going to kill you, like she does, you know. The Mad Hatter is not mad anymore, but he's like, what, just wants to kill everybody?
Yeah, he didn't look so crazy. Like, he looked
A little
kind of
normal.
like a normal dude.
Yeah, it's so Wonderland War, it is an actual battle game. You are, the theme doesn't pull punches. Like, you're trying to kill the other citizens of Wonderland so that you can be the ruler of this now too normal world, which then, you know, if you wanted to, is a neat statement on political stuff there from Skybound from Druid City.
Is it 1v1?
Oh, no, up to 5 player, up to 5 player. And then, so it's like then the actual, I haven't read the rule book yet. There's different phases in the game, but most turns result in a battle phase where you have to, and then it's a bag builder. It's a bag builder. So that's those chips.
I like bag builders.
Each faction, you're going to be putting your tokens down and upgrading your units and upgrading your armies and your leader. So the 5 factions are the Cheshire Cat, the Jabberwocky, the Queen of Hearts, the Mad Hatter, and Alice's Rebellion, Alice. And so each leader has like a special ability, and you can like level them up and gain better chips in your bag. And then you can recruit citizens of Wonderland. So like you can hire, I don't know, Tweedledee and Tweedledum or whatever, and get their chips in your bag. And then the combat is on a bag draw. So the better your bag is, the better you can do in combat.
It's kind of like a Arkham Horror LCG bag draw for how much power you're getting.
Right. Yeah. So exactly, like the base chips, everyone just has a bunch of 1s, and then you can get 2s and 3s, and then the special citizens come with their own set of chips that have different effects as well as numeric value. But yeah, you can get like the flamingos. You know, remember the scene where you're playing golf with the flamingos? You can get some flamingo chips. You can get some roses from the rose garden. You can get the King of Hearts here. Then there's like poison and all kinds of special effects and forging. You can forge better weapons. It's wild. I'm excited to jump in.
Nick, is this the kind of game you think you're going to get to the table with your kids?
Oh, do we lose Nick?
He said, "Bye,
Bye.
Okay.
Anyway,
kids? Never mind.
I'm out."
Well, I didn't know.
He's calling back.
There we go.
All right, Nick. We asked you about your kids, and you hung up.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Carlos hung up on me. I'm just saying that suddenly the call dropped.
Okay.
Wayne had a question for you
yeah.
with regards to this and playability with the kids. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it should be fine, because at the end of the day, there's no, it's no more, it's not like overtly violent than any other battle skirmish game where you're, doing fantasy violence on the board, right? And it is Alice in Wonderland's story. I think they would maybe get a kick out of, this is the story of what happens to Wonderland after Alice leaves and it all goes to hell. So yes, when I first saw it, literally the Kickstarter's coming out, that is what drew me in. I was like, oh, maybe this will be a family game.
Yeah.
Wonderland 4, what's this about? So I think it will be fine for my kids to play at their ages and with their experience. It is not, however, billed as and does not present as a family game. This is not a lightweight little kid family game about Alice in Wonderland.
It doesn't look it. When I see the player boards and I see all the different interactions and the comboing, like it feels like it'll be a lot more work than it's worth to teach a kid. I might as well just grab something lighter. Rob, what's the BGG showing on the rating for the complexity?
Let's go jump over here. Kind of left hand on the mouse here, so let me see if I can figure this out.
Just move your hand, or you got two hands, bro. You can take. It's wireless. It can move all the way over there.
I got a crowded spot over here with my.
We're like one round away from finishing our game of Dune Imperium.
It's a 2.91, so it's not light.
No, it's not.
No, it's definitely not.
Age
too
13 and
light,
up, it says 45 to 125 minutes, 2 to 5 players, best at 4 this early on. But
45 to 125. That's
a pretty wide range, ain't it?
It's a weird range. Usually it's like 60 to.
It's one of those like dwelling devoted. The box says 25 minutes per player.
Gotcha.
That's what the box actually.
Okay.
So I think that's
okay.
There.
That's the idea. Yeah. Okay.
No, but I'm looking through. I don't know if you can pull it. I'm looking through like the player maps. So it's asynchronous. It's not asynchronous. It's asymmetrical.
Asymmetrical. Yep.
Depending on which faction you are, will definitely affect your starting bag as well as what you can level up into. And I mean, it is one of those things where, as a kid, Alice in Wonderland was a story. So I know the characters, and I'm sitting here looking at, like, you know, if I played the Mad Hatter, my abilities I can get to are piping hot, how refreshing, it's always tea time, and then unbirthday present. And I mean, when I read unbirthday present, I can then hear the song "Very Merry Unbirthday," and it's like, oh, this is gonna be cool. This is gonna be fun.
Little throwback, that's cool.
I mean, it's the same folks that made the Grim Forest and Tidal Blades. I mean, these are all greatly beloved games. So I think the odds are it's going to end up being a good game.
But it fits with the overproduced, man.
Tidal Blades games,
definitely overproduced.
I mean, Grim
taking up my entire team.
Grim Forest is a light game that's got great mechanisms, but it's great gorgeous, great components. That's what stands out for that game.
Yeah, I actually have not played that, and I haven't played Tidal Blades.
I have not yet either.
I did just pick it up. I did just pick it up. It was actually pretty reasonably priced at Cool Stuff. I forget if it was one of the flash sales. It was like $40. So
nice.
I did go and grab it. Despite
$40?
I hear that one.
That's really well priced.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Carlton, if you're watching, how much was your copy? I don't think it was $40.
Trying to make him jealous.
Yeah, this is not the Kickstarter version, of course,
right?
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've heard that it suffers a little bit from the overproduced criticism, where it's a beautiful game with great components that at the end of the day was just something that was probably not going to be better than anything else on your shelf, kind of thing. But at the price point, I picked it up. Why not? Yeah.
Cool.
Well, thank you for sharing. I mean, your excitement is showing through, so it's something that stands out. Your excitement level on that, and I don't think I've heard you really gush about many Kickstarters that you received. I find your thoughts to be honest and tempered. So your excitement level on this one tells me there's something different about this game that's got you thinking, okay, this is it. This is going to be a fun one.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, everything, the stylizing of it, I don't know. I am enamored by this. I don't know why. I am enamored by this concept that something horrible happened to Wonderland after Alice left, and that horrible thing was her presence turned it to normal.
A little more normal, yeah.
Brother, you're speaking to me, because that's something that I've always thought about and pondered, right? It's the idea that you cannot observe something without then impacting that thing you observe. You change it just by watching it. And so when we think about the geopolitical consequences of the actions that we take as a nation, when we insert ourselves into other regions and then leave, and the vacuums of power, the changes in people's mindsets, and the things that come, we can go on this all day. Let me stop.
Let's not get crazy.
Let me stop. But the idea that you're talking about speaks to me, because it's true. You can't jump yourself into something without thus changing the thing that you touched, and then come back to it later and see what you did. That's awesome.
Yeah. it's just very clever.
It got deep in here. It got real deep. Sorry.
It did. I love it. All right, very good. No, I had to call in to gush above the game. Yes, it's all over my table. It's beautiful. I'm excited. I'm gonna, unlike other Kickstarters, I'm looking at you, Dead Reckoning, and even the Great Wall. I have not played my copy of. I can point at that. It's still in shrink. Damio. I got the all-in Damio, which I really like. Role Player Adventures. Tortuga 2099.
You haven't talked about any of those games when you've called in the same manner that you talked about this one. So
Yeah.
now the problem is you've got us hooked on this Sleeping Gods thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say we got to schedule our next Sleeping Dogs thing. Yeah.
I don't know when I'm going to be able to give you time to dedicate towards this Alice in Wonderland game.
And I want to play Dead Reckoning
because you got me playing Sleeping Gods.
Yes. No, yeah, which we got to get our next session. That is a great game.
Yeah, we'll have to get online and get that scheduled.
That surprises no one. It was critically acclaimed and.
But here's my plan for this weekend, my friend. Here's my plan for this weekend.
Yeah.
Me, shirtless, Palm Island.
That's disgusting.
With Palm Island, the game in one hand, a beer in the other, hanging out in your pool. That's what's happening this weekend. I'm super excited, Poppy. Super excited.
Looking forward to it.
Awesome.
So we will see you this weekend.
Awesome, man. Have a great night.
You
Good
too.
night,
Thanks
Nick.
for calling, Nick.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Actually, maybe we got to get.
I'm gonna have the Hershey
we gotta
Kisses
get, we
out
gotta get
and
Dan over there
everything.
on Saturday, and we can play some Sleeping Gods in the pool while we swim. Sleeping Gods in the pool. Yeah,
Sleeping Gods in the pool.
because you and I are both going to be there. Nick's going to be there. Joe's going to be there. But if we can get Dan over there, well, maybe we'll have to figure that out. But
Mitchell says, "Dare to be different. Screw normalcy."
yeah,
Dude,
what's
I
normal?
love
What's normal?
okay. So there's the Mitchell I know, and then there's the Mitchell in this picture.
Sneaks out.
Like,
oh yeah,
I would like to have met.
That's theater Mitch right there.
Yeah, exactly. he's a man of many things.
I mean,
many faces.
it's Richmond. Like that's all I see there is like the goth IT guy
From
hiding
Squad,
in the server room.
1990s. He made a comment. What did he say there?
Oh, he's okay. LOL. That is such
an old picture.
That's
Get it updated.
That's being Mitchell.
That's what we're gonna. Richmond. Yeah, that's what we're gonna comment on. You gotta get that.
He's got
fixed.
that. He's got like he's trying to grow a mustache there.
Yeah.
But then he's got the bangs cut over. Anyway,
Yeah.
we love
I
you,
think
Mitch.
we
do.
miss Diego calling me grumpy or angry or.
Oh yeah,
or
he called you out for being
called
an
me out
old
for
dude.
being an old dude.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not that
yeah,
old, but
yeah.
Let's see here. He called Wayne out saying older gamers are so negative about anything slightly different from
I'm
the
not-
norm.
And the thing is, I'm not particularly negative on it. I just look at it and I go, why couldn't that be a new game? Why does it have to pull parts from it? And why is it an expansion? And actually, I think in some respects,
We're back to viticulture,
we're
right?
back to viticulture,
Okay.
yeah, 'cause that's what that was about.
Okay.
But that was, yeah, granted, he sold 100,000 copies of Viticulture, but how many people are going to buy the expansion, right? So if it's a new game, you open it up to a whole new group of people, But that was my problem. But
See, but then when I think about eco-friendly,
yeah,
reusing
that is true.
components,
That is true. That is a valid.
that's part of his mission.
Correct. That is, and that's valid. And also that's why the expansion, like if you want to buy the big box to do everything Viticulture, it comes with the expansion.
Right.
And you don't get the box, and so and I've already seen old gamers, probably Diego,
Old crotchety
complaining about
gamers.
but I want the expansion box and the big box.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I'll just take the expansion. I'll take the big box and the expansion, and I'll probably enjoy the
The
game.
crate looks gorgeous.
The crate looks
though.
gorgeous.
Yeah,
I'll
looks
buy
cool.
it.
Yeah,
Because it fits everything, and I have everything ever printed for Viticulture.
and I commented it looks like real wood when I first pulled it up. I was like, oh, that's a wooden crate. And then but you zoom in a little bit, and you can see it's a cardboard box, but it looked really cool. Yeah.
So it's not that I'm trying to be negative. I guess I'm just trying to be contrary.
Yeah.
But
Okay, that's not a word I know.
Contrarian.
Please
Contrarian?
define.
Contrary. Yeah.
just being the devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Point the
And
other
that, like,
side.
why couldn't it? It seems like it's not really a true expansion. It's more like a new game that just uses a bunch of pieces. But that could be wrong. I have the rule book that I got to read, so we'll see. But that box looks cool. That's
Rob,
the
pull
old,
up the pictures.
I think that's the old box.
All right,
was just-
now
I was
hit
trying-
the button down there
Oh, so I was just trying to get the
with
comment off. It's yours.
the
Go ahead.
little picture and the.
Go ahead. You got
Yeah,
it.
that's
I'll
the
watch
old.
you.
That's
this one.
Yeah, there you go.
the
Okay.
one you're gonna share. That's the old
Boom.
box. That's not the new one.
Oh, that's not the new one.
That's the old collector's edition. So you got to go to Stonemeyer Games probably for the new one. That's the
Yeah,
new
yeah,
one.
because I'm sure it's brand new.
Nope. That's
That's probably the old
That's
one.
the old one,
That's
too.
the old one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dios mío, I can't even.
I don't think it's probably out on the
you probably just got
interwebs
to go to
much yet.
Stonemeyer Games
Yeah.
website direct.
But anyway, yeah, I mean it's interesting what you commented on about how they're basically making a new game, and I mean that seems like what it is, and so there you go. Yeah, like what I say when I first pulled that up, I was like, oh, that's a actual wooden box, and then I saw some closer pictures of it. I was like, oh no, you can see the seams. Got a call coming in.
Y'all go ahead. I'm gonna take.
Oh, he's gonna try to screen that one. Okay, we weren't sure what he's doing live. Some on screen on some, and
No,
but,
and I think the initial shock of it not being what I expected probably why I was a little negative. But as I read more about it, it looks cool, and we play a lot of cooperative games, so I'll give it a shot. And I'm definitely buying the box because that helps me get rid of two. I have the big Viticulture Essential Edition and the Tuscany original Tuscany, so 2 of those in one box helps me.
I'm a big fan of viticulture, and I love co-op games. That's actually probably one of my favorite genres is co-op. So I'm definitely on board. I don't think I'll be picking it up yet. I don't even own the basic version of it yet, or I don't even own viticulture at all. Carlos has got a copy, and so many people in our groups have viticulture. But yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, we'll have to see. I'll have to find out more about it when it comes out. Cool. So once I see some people playing it. I think Carlos is getting ready to queue one up, so we're going to pause here for just a second.
All right, we got Carl Johnson from Texas. Wanted to talk about some RPG stuff, Wayne. This is right up your alley.
Okay.
Hey, Carl, say hi.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
I was wanting to talk about the game Complicatrix by St. Jordan.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Right, that's kind of what I said.
The Game of Complications. I'm not familiar.
Complicatrix. It's from the 70s.
All right, tell us more about it.
Yeah.
I believe it was developed by a smaller studio called The Incredible Crew. It was more of like a kiddie RPG to get into, but I remember having a lot of fun with it as a kid.
Is that one you're familiar with, Wayne?
I'm not familiar with that one.
You have a ton of RPGs at home.
I do.
All right, so Carl, you're gonna have to give us more information on this one. What is it? How does it play? Why do you love it?
Well, it has like these different. It's kind of like cat and mouse, but an RPG combined. You have like a dice roller. You press the button and it pops up, and then you got like little slides you knock your guys down with after they lose battles.
No, it sounds like it's a game that's played online or some kind of a computer setup. Is that right?
No, it's a vintage video game or a vintage board game.
Vintage board game. Okay.
I believe it was also they also had a copy of it you play on SNES.
Now, because you're talking about an older game, if someone were interested in learning more about it, where would they go to find out more about this kind of a niche game?
I believe if you go on YouTube, you can just look up Incredible Crew Complicatrix.
And are you guys still actually playing this game today?
I still have it in my closet.
Yeah, that's not one I'm familiar. When next time Ron Fraser calls in, we're gonna have to ask him.
I believe it's like it's the Europe exclusive, but my parents brought it to me as a kid.
Feel like I'm fairly well versed in RPG systems, and I've never heard of this one, so I'm definitely gonna have to look into it.
You can see it on YouTube. It's called Complicatrix by the Incredible Crew.
Complicatrix.
It seems to be something to do with a show, so it's like a game based off an intellectual property of a show. Is that right, Carl?
Okay.
It's based off the show. I think they had a reboot of the show in the 2000s, but it came out in the 70s.
Oh, okay. Interesting. That's cool. Because I think that's
you can
actually
still see the show. I think today.
I think getting kids into RPGs or younger folks into RPGs, you have to have an IP that's interesting to
definitely
them.
could help. Yeah.
The a couple of years ago, I picked up Monty Cook put out an RPG meant for kids. It's like Go Away Evil or something like that. But my son wasn't really interested in it. But when the Kickstarter for Avatar: The Last Airbender started last year,
that's a big one.
He was all into that. He's like, "Oh, I like to play an RPG game, and be be in the Avatar world." So I think having an IP or a show that someone could watch and then bring them into the RPG and light rules would be nice. But that's cool. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, I remember the game is very, very forgiving, almost to the point where it could be too easy for most experienced RPG players.
Right. But when you want to bring a young 8, 10, 12-year-olds into games, you don't want to
don't want something
fight
heavy.
The beholder right away.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's probably my first experience playing, first edition D&D with my older brother and his friends, and bring my first level character out and get killed by a goblin in the first 5 seconds, it's kind of hard to not, to enjoy it. So if you have something that, has an IP and can bring somebody into it, light rules that are easy to play, that teaches sort of that interaction and role playing versus rolling dice, is a good way to bring kids into the game. So I'm going to have to look that up.
So Carl, I'm hearing you say that's something that your parents introduced you to. Has that led you into other games that you continue to play today?
It led me into just doing other RPGs. Like when I found out about Dungeons and Dragons, I was thinking this is just like Complicatrix, even though none of my friends knew what I was talking about.
You know what? I'll be honest with you. I've been playing games a long time, and I've never heard of that IP.
New one for me. I'm looking it up tonight. I'm gonna do some research. That sounds fun.
I know Wayne's very proud of his collection of RPGs.
Yeah, so he's a little upset that he doesn't know this one. Yeah?
You stumped Wayne, man. You did a good job.
There's a lot of games on our shelf. We have like my wife and I have about 4 or 5 bookshelves full of RPG games, and that's definitely not one on them. So it's interesting. That's cool.
It comes up if you look it up on YouTube. Complicatrix Incredible Crew.
Yep.
We saw it.
The intellectual property, Incredible Crew.
Yeah, I was able to find it on the YouTube. I just couldn't find any pages or articles that talked about how it plays, the mechanisms. I think that's the next bit of information that we're probably going to take a peek at is
dive into.
What does it do mechanism-wise to bring out that fun of RPG? Like, how is it different than like a D&D or a Fate system or the Universal or the Genesis system from FFG? What is it about that game that you like when you play it?
I remember with that game as a kid, it had stuff like marbles and slides and like different pop-up buttons and stuff like that would make it more friendly to children.
Okay, so the puzzles in it is what really drew you in. Almost like Mansions of Madness. One of the things that I loved about Mansions of Madness 2nd Edition is as you're playing the RPG part of the game, it'll stop and hit you at like a puzzle or a lock or a game within the game to keep the game going.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Great call out, man.
Yeah, that's a new one.
Texas, have we had Texas call in before?
I don't think so. That might be the first time for Texas. Yeah.
So you a first time caller from Texas. We appreciate
represented
that.
Texas well. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
First call. Don't be a stranger.
I'll do some more. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Okay.
I got saved on my phone to look into it some more.
Look that one
I'm
up.
always looking for younger game systems that younger kids can get into.
It impacted him.
Yeah.
You killing the phones there?
Yeah, Rob. Okay, so we got to Wayne's topic. Wayne, you talked about viticulture. Well, actually, Mitchell brought up viticulture.
Yeah, that was Mitchell's topic.
Rob,
so you had something else.
I was going to talk about Game Found and Last Light and overproduction, but we can save that for next week.
Oh, we hit up a lot of overproduction today.
But yeah,
staying on that theme.
We got that, but I think talk about the difference between Kickstarter and Game Found and money made on them so far and things like that. But that'll be a future topic.
Okay.
Well, mine ties in real briefly. And again, I told you my topic was real light and quick tonight, but I know you're a fan of Unmatched. And again, kind of going to Game Found, the Dice Tower during their Spring Spectacular last week was playing the newest version of the Unmatched. It's the DC Marvel version that I don't know if it's out now or if it's coming out, but they online while they were playing in the chat, Restoration Games, the designers or the producers, publishers of the Unmatched system, came out and mentioned that next month a Game Found project is going live that is a storage solution for all of the Unmatched stuff. So they're going to have a storage solution that you can put all the minis in one box, all the cards. It's going to have separators to separate all the tokens and everything. So there's another. We talk about overproduced. I don't know if a storage solution, a game box can be overproduced.
Well,
but
so that brings up a point. So like Jamie, I hate to bring back
Stegmaier,
viticulture, but he talked about I'm making this big box for viticulture, but I'm sticking the expansion in it, right? So now I'm going to buy this big box for Unmatched, but are you going to give me something in the box to make it worthwhile?
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see the Game Found. Yeah,
that'd be interesting to see.
Well, because the original big box for Scythe was just the box,
right?
With a couple of boxes inside the box,
but
no new game pieces, no new game components. So the viticulture big box is, and so I'm learning more about this one as we talk. That's going to have the expansion built in. Like
Initially.
Yep, initial. If you order the big box, you are automatically ordering the expansion as well. And he said it may be a year or two down the road before you can buy just the box.
And they're doing that also with Wingspan, the nesting box that they're coming out with.
Wingspan big box is going to have the next expansion in it also. And he's basically saying because of the price of shipping,
Right, shipping. Yeah.
because of I can save
not worth
I can
it.
save all the boxes for the expansions by just putting it automatically in the expansion in the thing.
Yeah.
You can buy the expansion separate, but if you want the big box, you got to buy an expansion.
But if you
with it.
think about it, if we're not talking about the first expansion of a game.
right, this is third
This
or
is like
fourth.
the deep expansion.
Yeah, this
if
is
you're
like-
willing to get into this last deep expansion, you're probably the same customer
Right.
who's wanting to buy the big
Who's
box.
gonna be all in for it anyway,
Because
yeah.
like I said, I have everything for Wingspan. I have everything for viticulture, so I'm buying both those big boxes probably.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's it. Did you have a topic tonight, Carlos? Or,
Yeah, I did. I just wanted to shout out how cool it is. Oh, wait, Ron Fraser. Ron Fraser is my man.
what do you say?
I'm here, but not familiar with it.
Okay, so he's not familiar with that RPG either.
So not even gone.
because I'm looking for young kid gaming groups because my son wants to start getting into it, and he's got 3 or 4 kids in his neighborhood that are. The other kids in our neighborhood aren't into board games like he is, so I need a game that I can get them into as well. I think we actually just showed our neighbors the catapult game, not crossbows and catapults, but the new one.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I
I
have
don't
the
remember.
Kickstarter, the whole thing of it.
I remember. I can see the front of the box, but I don't remember what it's called. Yeah,
I forget now. My brain.
Jake B is commenting on the YouTubes. I remember Complimentrix had a reboot in
Complicatrix?
in the 2000s.
Had a reboot?
Complicatrix. Yeah.
Yeah.
English, not my first language.
Yeah.
Had a reboot in the 2000s, but I never played the OG version and had no idea it existed back in the 70s.
Cool.
I'm glad somebody
Has heard of it?
Yeah,
knows
I like it.
it.
at
Yeah,
least
gotta
Carl,
look it up now.
right? It was Carl.
Carl.
It doesn't have to feel like he's crazy. Like
No,
other
it's awesome.
people know
I love it.
about what you're talking about. Carl.
But so think about it. Like I've been RPG gaming for 34 years.
Don't age yourself now.
I know, I aged myself. 34 years of RPG games. Never heard of it. Awesome. That's fantastic. That like I
something new.
Something
Yeah.
that's great.
Something old but new.
Something old
Yeah,
but new. That's
yeah.
awesome. And like same thing with board games too. Like there's a
Oh, yeah.
ton of games.
Yeah,
that-
you showed up today with some of your games from your collection, and I was like,
do.
bro, these games look dated.
Did you bring Medici?
I have no Medici.
Yeah, there you go.
And I brought the Colossal Arena and a game called Castle, which is an old school game.
I'm
like
sure
those.
Diego would get a kick out of the idea of the old gamer guy shows up with his old games every time he shows up in hopes that somebody
Nobody wants to play the
will-
old games.
Well, here's the thing: and I love playing new games, and there's a bazillion new games the last 5 years I've never played that I want to play. But also, there's a ton of new gamers that have played all these new overproduced games that have never played some of the old classics that are fun to play still, right?
It's funny when someone plays Dominion for the first time and they're like, "Wow, it's just like Lost Ruins of Arnak."
Oh yeah,
No.
Other way around. Other way around. There's a grandfathering here.
What was that? What was that thing we saw? Somebody had posted up about Post Malone doing a cameo with Ozzy Osbourne and saying, "Man, this Ozzy Osbourne guy is going to make it big now that he's on a record with Post Malone."
At 80 years old?
No. Ozzy Osbourne was around well before Post Malone. He was pre-Malone.
Like at the game day this past weekend, we played a couple of new games. We played Dune. We played a couple other new games, and then Rob and a couple of us played Medici,
Yeah,
which is an old school Rena Knizia game.
Look at this. In the 2000s game was kind of a joke. This is Jake B commenting because the board was 3 stories tall, like a tower with 3 boards.
So we're stacked up or something?
I mean, if it's worth doing, it's worth
All the way
overdoing.
overproduced.
Queen's Gambit, right? Where Star Wars,
Yeah.
what did that Star Wars game? with the,
Mountains and Molehills, I think is another one
that's
that's
a
got
new
the
one.
multiple levels.
There's that Indian one where the paint festival. What's that?
Yes.
Holy. Yeah, holy.
yeah, so there's overproduced games, but
All right, my news topic for the week that I wanted to bring up, and maybe we got to come up with a better system. Maybe we start 15 minutes early, we bring up our topics, and then we take the show. We'll figure this out, folks, as we go. It's been over a year. We still haven't figured it out, but you're still watching, so we're doing something right. Anyway, Dice Tower sold out of tickets, Rob.
Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah.
I did not expect
They
that.
sold out a week
All
ago.
right, I got a
almost now.
confession.
Yeah.
I got a confession to make, Robert.
Yeah?
I got to confess.
What's that?
So Robert already booked our villas like 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah. I've been rolling them over. Yeah.
And rolling them over and rolling them over. And we've been making plans and figuring out who's bringing what food and what kids are coming when. I bought my tickets like 2 weeks ago.
Did you really? Nothing like waiting to the last minute. You just barely got in under the wire there. Yeah.
And that's why, to me, this news topic stands out so much. Like, holy crap! Had I waited one more paycheck,
I don't got tickets.
I would have sold out and been like, "Sorry, Rob. I know I committed to paying half.
Yeah, you owe me $1,000 for the hotel. Yeah.
Well, my suspicion, like, there's already like a guest list.
Yeah, there's a wait list.
Yeah.
And there's already people on the board trying to get their tickets
and
off.
I think they'll expand. I think this year a lot of conventions are going to sell out, and you're going to see back to I'm scared what Dragon Con's going to
Dice Tower's 2,500 people, which is as big as it's ever been, and they sold out.
And I think they could sell at 5,000 if they wanted to.
Mitch says, "I thought Carlos was going to say he didn't get his badge." Mitch, I was
getting ready too. If you said that, I was about to crap my pants. So
Carlos could be playing in the hotel room.
Yeah, he's going to go hang out in the hotel room. I'll be like, "We'll be back. I'll come play the midnight game with you." But I'm going to be down there.
I'd still be paying for my cut of the hotel,
exactly.
But I'd be playing games out of the hotel.
And that's the question. Like, so, you know, at larger conventions, at Gen Con or Dragon Con, whatever, you have to have a badge to get anywhere in. But being at the Caribe Royale, if you're at the hotel, you can't get into where they're gaming, but like,
you can hang out in the hallways and
or even like, so during the day, I'm going to go to Disney, I'm going to go to the pool, whatever, and then late at night we'll go game somewhere else, right? And things like that. So I mean, my guess is that there are going to be people there that don't have badges that just
hopefully that's you, Wayne.
Wayne can be hanging out.
I'll come over late one night when I can just sneak in.
If you don't mind, two guys and their wives and 10 kids.
It's only an hour drive. I'll drive there, game for 10 hours, drive home.
I think Muhammad did that one. You remember?
Well, I did that the first year. Yeah, I slept in my car the first couple nights, and that's not happening again.
But I can see people doing that. Like, if, you know, it's sold out, hey, but I want to have some friends. Well, I got a hotel room. We can hang out at the pool. We can game other places at the resort.
Well, 2,500 people. Half the people at the resort are there for games, one way or another.
It's a big resort.
Whether it's in the game hall
or
in their rooms or in the hallway. Again, I wasn't kidding about hallways. People play in the hallways and stuff in the lobby of the hotel and that kind of stuff.
And none of that requires a badge. It only requires a badge to get into the Dice Tower area. I'm not saying I'm not suggesting people should do that. I'm just saying I think people want to get out and game again. People want to get out and go to conventions. I think every convention is going to be packed this year.
That's the piece that kind of stands out for me is the fact that they sold out this early. I don't think they've sold out this early in a long time, and I think it's what Wayne is saying right here. It's the fact that people want to get out and game.
Yeah.
They want to see people. They want to do games to the point where people will fly out from Louisiana to sleep in the corner of a villa with two dudes, their families, their kids, just to be able to come hang out. And that's Mitchell. Our buddy's going to join us.
And there's Ron, too. Everybody chiming in. Now, this is a hot topic. Ron says if he relocates, like he was talking about, to Orlando, he'll find a way to join us.
So, Ron, you and I will get a separate room somewhere.
There you go.
We'll get a room there, and we'll just game on the side.
Yeah.
We'll
pop over every now and then and come play a game with you.
This past weekend, game day, Dice, you guys had a game day at your turn. It was the first time I was able to get out because I was in town, and I can't tell you how excited I was to be there all day.
Hopefully you had a good time.
It was a fantastic time. Yeah. I just, it went so quick. I got there at 2 because my kid had a soccer game earlier, and then the place was closing down at 10 o'clock, and I'm like, I could game for another 10 hours, man.
And you stayed late, too.
Yeah, I was ready.
You stayed real late.
I was ready to stay later.
You were one of the ones that almost shut it down with us.
Yeah, I was ready to stay.
Mitch says Ron, Wayne, and I can share the couch. So 3 of you on one couch together.
There's got to be a bathtub somewhere. Just throw a blanket in there with a pillow mattress. I've done that before conventions.
Oh, that's hardcore.
Or in the closet, whatever,
But if you're Rob, you're getting only 2 hours of sleep.
I don't need the room. I mean, the room's a little side. That's mostly for my family.
Hot bed it.
Yeah. A couple hours. That's all I need, baby.
Hot bunking. Swapping people.
I got 2 hours. You get the next 2 hours. We'll put them on shifts so we can rotate. Yeah. That's what.
Let me stop. I was going to say some stuff.
No. You keep it to yourself.
But I think all the cons are going to be like that this year, man.
Yeah, I hope so.
I was surprised that, and I think part of why Dice Tower specifically sold out is the fact that they're not doing the retreat this year. Had they done the retreat in Orlando this year, like they did last year, I would have had to make a decision between one or the other, but not both. And I think I would have gone retreat over East.
Retreat's more intimate,
but I still think the retreat in Miami is going to sell out. I think.
Oh, I'm sure.
I think
it already did. I don't know.
I know
it already did.
Yeah, it already did. I don't know if Winter Escape Con has a cap.
Escape Winter, yeah,
or not. I think Necro.
Well,
I think
and
Dragon
this
Con,
is great news for Escape Winter Con.
Absolutely.
So a friend of the show, Patrick Havert, he is doing his in September.
Right.
So the fact that this is selling out so fast, if you want a game in the Orlando area in a con setting, Escape WinterCon is going to be your only option.
Yeah. Because there's not as much gaming as like Orlando Comic Con or MegaCon. Or things like
so
that.
I think this is a boon for him because people are going to flow over. That overflow from Dice
Well, I
Tower
think-
is going to be at Escape
And
Winter
I think
Con.
you've got you already have your turn is planning to do a
We're gonna be on
3-day
that, yeah.
convention. You have Necronomicon here in Tampa. You have Dragon Con. I think everything is going to show record numbers this year because just
I hope so.
We're done. We
done.
want to get out.
We wanna
We
get
want a
out.
game.
I hope so. We'll see. We'll have to keep an eye on those numbers.
Ron says fingers crossed.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I put that up there.
Yep. And then
That's the
Mitchell
share the
says-
couch. Yeah, I threw that up there.
All right, folks. You know what's sad is this is the part that always bugs me, and this is why I'm looking forward to next week when I'm in San Antonio doing a later show. Is we're getting more viewers after the show is supposed to be off.
Yeah,
Like we're adding viewers.
we're peaking now.
I think you got to go to an hour and a half then instead of an
Yeah.
hour, man.
and it's gonna have
Start
to.
the first 15, 20 minutes, our topics, and then get in the
and then
calls.
get everybody's thoughts on our topics.
Yep.
I think we can do that, and I'm sure you guys could commit to hanging on a little bit later,
yeah,
maybe even a
sure.
half hour later.
Yeah, if we
to
don't
do
game
it.
afterwards, yeah,
Yeah.
that's better. Yeah,
Which we still have one
we got to
more
finish
round.
this one. You got to finish the.
Oh,
the
yeah,
Doom
let's
thing.
show the folks
I
at
think
home.
we can say that
the greatest
unfortunately,
game ever.
I've been sitting here looking at the board for the last hour and a half, and Rob's going to win.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, you got 2 points in it.
Oh.
You're going to get to 10. And
Well,
All right,
see.
there's
We'll
the
see,
board,
yeah.
folks. So we are in the middle of a game of Dune Imperium.
Dude, Imperium.
Robert, give the status of the board. Where are we at?
Well, again, we got we're on the last round, so we're on the last card. We just flipped the battle for the last round. There are no victory points. We've actually had victory points, I think, in each of the last 3 or 4 rounds, but we're not fighting over any victory points battle-wise here.
But no, we are fighting for victory points because this is going to be
Two
two
pushes.
pushes
It could
on
be one.
any faction.
Could be one.
Right? So blue can grab a point here. Blue can grab
I'm grabbing,
2 points.
I'm grabbing one there no matter what, and I'm grabbing
So
one
you
up
can
there.
grab 2
I'm
points
getting
right
those off
there.
of this, but
he's
I don't
getting
need, I don't
2
need
points.
that.
He's got 10 off of those 2.
Red's got another point available here, so Wayne's got another
He's gonna
point
get
he
that.
can grab
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
I don't see any other points where I can grab.
I have to
I
win.
got one more point that I can grab.
So Rob's got 2 points he can grab if he gets to 10.
You got one.
So
he's
winning
got
this
one.
got
battle
one.
is not insignificant.
Winning that battle,
It's not gonna help me.
can steal this from Rob, basically.
Or you can steal a point from him. That's even better than gaining
If
a
I don't
point.
bump,
Right.
but I'm going to bump that one too.
Let's show him the point.
I'm good.
Look at that
If you're
beautiful
going to bump that,
acrylic.
Yeah.
you can bump all 3 of them?
I can.
3.
Yeah, I drew
say he
3.
wins.
I drew 3 of them.
So then we don't have to play the last round if he can bump all
Yeah.
3.
Yeah,
then
we're gonna have to get this last round in. So
It's
we're-
it's payback for that. I win with this one card that you can only ever play once in a million years.
Oh,
to-
and
Yeah,
folks,
I just happened to draw.
what you may not know is at the Beans and
my draw, I got
Dice
all one.
monthly game day, we played a 4-player game of Dune, and for the first time ever in my life, I saw a three-way tie of Dune Imperium between Dave Carlton, Wayne Kruger, and Rob Childers. Who ended up winning that game?
Okay.
And it was all based off of
An intrigue
So
card.
we 3-way tie, and then it was who had the most spice, which there was a tie on spice as well.
I think
but
you and I were
had-
tied on spice.
Tied on spice,
Yeah.
but then I had that one intrigue card that gives you plus 10 spice, which how often you play that one.
would never be very significant until
and
then.
I'll tell you what, I tried to use that card like 4 times in a row for combat power.
Yep.
And it just every battle
Didn't
I was
work
getting
out.
smoked on it. So I'm like, well, I'm just not going to waste that. I'll
Yeah.
save it and see what happens. And it won me the game.
Lucky you held on to it. Yeah.
And yes, Mitch, we are still recording right here, right now. We're going to continue.
Oh,
This will be done in
yeah,
10
I forgot
minutes.
about that.
10 minutes
Yeah, okay.
max.
Yeah.
But we're going to bring you in so you can be with us. We can set up and go. So on that note, that's going to end the show, folks. I think that's I'm calling it done.
yeah.
I'm calling it. It is Mark Stang popped in. He says you guys are running long tonight.
Yeah.
Yes, Mark. Lately we've kind
It's
of
a new
just
thing,
been
I think.
Just been kind of rambling on at the end of the show. Yeah.
that, or we can do it at the beginning. But we're figuring it out. But thank you for popping in at the end of the
yeah.
show.
Good to see you.
He says just got home. So,
Okay.
hopefully it was a game day,
Yeah.
not work.
Little Central
game
Time
day
Zone.
that got you home.
Central Time.
So that's going to end our show. We'll be back next week. Just folks, I'm going to post up as a reminder. It's probably going to be a later show next week because I'm out of town. I'm heading to San Antonio for some work. So I'm probably going to do a later show. So just be on the lookout for the times on that.
San Antonio, Texas, not San Antonio, Florida, which there is a San Antonio, Florida.
I don't think anybody knows. There's just
Oh,
You're gonna-
I know.
You're going to have
I
time to
know.
do the Alamo?
Yeah.
I've been to the Alamo.
Oh, okay, you've been. Okay.
I've walked past the Alamo 100 times before realizing the Alamo was there.
Oh, it's crazy, right?
Yeah,
It's
little-
right in the
little
middle,
tiny-
so
little tiny
weird.
thing in the middle of the city.
It's so
It's
weird.
fun.
I'm just looking to eating lots of
Oh,
beef.
the river walk there. Oh, so good.
I'm Carlos,
I'm Rob.
And I'm Wayne.
and we're talking about food and Texas.
Gaming.
And how we game.
We're the Beans and Dice podcast. We'll be back next week. Thank you for watching, y'all.
Thanks,
Have a good
everybody.
night.
Have a good
night.
evening.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks for watching the Beans and Dice podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe.